People of Reddit, what was the most NSFW event you ever stumbled upon in high school? No one thought it would be a bad idea for the cross-country team to have thin white uniforms until we had a race in a thunderstorm. So many flashbacks of penises swaying with each stride. In my school it was girls varsity soccer in the spring. We had lots of fans when it rained. In middle school some kids walked in and started having sex in the stall next to me while I was pooping. Eventually they smelled my presence. This was junior high, but one kid who we suspected was gay gave another kid who we did not suspect was gay a blowjob in the bathroom stall. And for what? A hollow foil Clefairy Pokemon card. I went to a boarding school my freshman year of high school, and a few weeks in, I volunteered to help walk our librarian's dog for her while her leg was healing after an injury. So I was walking this huge dog through the woods around campus when he suddenly sniffed the air and just ripped the leash out of my hands and took off into the underbrush. I started chasing after him when I heard screaming and yelling. I thought, oh god, this dog mauled someone and I'm going to get expelled. Broke through a clearing and there were 5 half-naked upperclassmen trying to put their clothes on and scatter while this dog is joyously barking and jumping up on and licking them. TLDR, accidentally interrupted an orgy in the woods with my librarian's dog. Edit, I guess since so many people are asking, yes it was a coat school and yes both sexes were represented. Walked into a bathroom after school and found a guy and a girl about to go to town. She had her shirt off and skirt up, he had his pants on. I mean, I caught them just before the moment of insertion. I said nothing. I would have left them to it, except all other bathrooms on campus, except this one were always locked shortly before last bell. So I silently walked to a urinal, calmly did my business, properly washed my hands. By the time I went to leave, the girl was hiding in a stall and the guy was waiting by the door. I shrugged at the guy shrugged back. I left and heard the door lock behind me. Not one of us said anything or made a sound during the entire exchange. Edit. For everyone calling it a power move, I appreciate it, but I just didn't wanna have to pee in the bushes. I ran cross country in high school. Sometimes during practice we would run through trails in the woods surrounding the high school. One day right after school ended we started running down the trails and stumbled upon 2 students having sex. Judging by their reactions I don't think they were expecting a group of 15 guys to run by while they were getting it on. We had a girl who would sit in the back of the bus and seemed to always have a different dude sit next to her. Turns out she was giving guys hand jobs for a small price. School is all about learning a trade. In bang before a football game, I walk into the percussion room to hang with the homies. Everyone is huddled around this dude in the corner of the room laughing. So of course I walk over to check it out. Turns out the dude was showing everyone how tiny his dick is and everyone was so fascinated. Yeah, it was really small. Like from the tip of your pinky to the first knuckle down. I've never seen anything like it lol. Edit, I know it called a micropenis. Fayo. Some kid at a party got blackout wasted and shat himself. In the middle of the crowd he took his pants down and slipped in it. Proceeded to army crawl to try and make it out but just smeared it everywhere. He is still known as the party pooper. In 8th grade we went on a class trip to Hershey Park. 2 girls gave a guy a blowjob on the bus ride home next to a sleeping chaperone. They eventually got caught and that's why there are now no code buses in the district. This was also in 2002. Freshman year of high school. Football team is out practicing. A senior varsity player came into the freshman locker room, cut all the locks off our lockers, and stole our clothes. Nice enough to take wallets and phones etc out of pockets and leave them in the lockers though. Idiot didn't realize the hallway cameras had him the whole time. Most of us chose not to shower until we got home, and as a team proceeded to leave in groups in undershirts and boxers or no shirts and boxers. After getting a call our rides were there. Small town, small school, so ultimately he was just benched for a few games, suspended for a day or 2 and his parents had to buy a bunch of padlocks. Edit, rip in barks. Thanks so much, we'll try to get to some comments. I went to a small party at my friend's house. My girlfriend and I got there late. We went in and noticed nobody was in the living room. Weird, they said they'd be here. Start walking to the back. and I could hear several voices in the bedroom. I just opened the door and there were 7 of my friends just having a casual orgy. Not me specifically, but 2 kids in my Catholic high school fucked in the bathroom and someone caught them and videotaped it. They posted it online. Our school made the news and now they measure girls' skirts if they look too high, as well as banning phones. Went to teacher's room to get some papers that my Portuguese teacher had forgotten and stumbled at my German biology teachers kissing each other really hard over the meeting table. I mean, they didn't even notice me. And oh, it was a Catholic shul, and they were both married by the way. My face when I returned to class without the papers must have been priceless. Edit. I'm usually more of a lurker myself here, so wasn't expecting this amount of attention. Thanks for all folks. Hope you've liked it. Carrot. What happens in the locker room should stay in the locker room. With that said, I once walked in on a kid shoving a crucifix up his ass on a dare from his friends. Holy shit. Okay, 2 stories, 1 NSFW, but still messed up. Janitor in elementary school died while mopping the floor, and somehow this didn't get around the entire school and my entire class saw them taking his covered up body out the front door. Another is walking in on several people giving BJs in the band room. It became a daily thing and I should have known to also knock on the practice room doors before entering. A sophomore at my school gave a freshman a donut filled with cum. He got criminal charges. Edit. I have no idea what the charges were. I do know that he got fired from his job and expelled. I don't know much else besides the sophomore was dating the freshman's friend. Also, I have never seen Van Wilder or any of the other movies people are suggesting. Oh man, I've got a good one for this. So I'm in H/S theater class and have been helping the teacher out with a lot of tasks like setting up the green room and stuff. Just little helpful stuff. Well, apparently one of us left the door unlocked and unattended for a little too long. In our green room were 2 big blue couches that were the most uncomfortable things I had ever sat on. Teacher comes running into the room from the hall and says suddenly, "Tequila, I think someone is in the green room. Go with me so I can have a witness." Thinking nothing of it, I go. We stand by the door and someone is most definition in there, making some pretty unusual sounds. I realize what the sound is a half second before the teacher throws the door open to 2 kids from my class getting down on that couch. I only had like 2 seconds of view time before the teacher screams, "Good golly, Miss Molly," and slams the door. I sat outside that door crying from laughing for about 20 minutes before they knocked on the door to be let out, realizing we had the stage completely locked down. The look on their faces when the principal let them out and led them to his office will forever be in my mind. Can you imagine? Balls deep about to blow, and from over your shoulder, "Good golly, Miss Molly." I dream of it sometimes and still wake up laughing. Edit. Words are hard. My high school had to bang blankets after 2 freshmen were caught having sex under one in the middle of the art hallway. We had to go outside for a physics experiment, but on the way from the classroom to the field, there was a bloody trail because a girl had just been stabbed in the bathroom and run to the nurse. She'd moved to the country less than a month prior, gotten mixed up with some shady people, and a 14-year-old hid in the bathroom stall before jumping out and trying to stab her in the face. She put her arms up and only had superficial injuries, but she never came back. Poor girl had PTSD last time I checked. I'm a teacher who teaches in a high school. First day on the job, had 2 kids beating cheeks in the back of one of my shop cars. Should specify I'm an automotive teacher. Pretty NSFW if you ask me. Used condom left wrapped around the tap on the sink in the boys' toilets. A week later it was still there. A month later there was another one next to it. In middle school the health teacher went to show a video on the projector and I guess he had porn on his video player. He offered everyone A's to keep quiet. He was fired, then went to work for a Catholic school. This is NSFW in a different way than most of the stories here, but when I was in high school I liked to go to the balcony of our theater to take naps during my free periods. It was dark, quiet, and usually empty, which made it such an ideal spot for napping. One day I walk up the stairs and see a girl from the grade below me that I sort of knew cutting herself with scissors. She freaked out and ran away. I eventually caught up with her and we had an intense conversation. We became friends after that day and I encouraged her to start seeing a therapist, which helped her a lot. Unfortunately, we lost touch when her parents moved to a different state and sent her to some boarding school. I heard my parents having sex during math class. I'm homeschooled.